And what about Pat Beverley heading to back to LA, except this time to the Lakers? Seems like a good move and a kind of a move they kind of needed to make.
Like, it wasn't already awkward enough that Russell Westbrook and LeBron James couldn't even sit next to each other on a basketball court. Now you got to introduce like the one actual NBA nemesis of Westbrook onto his own team. Like, it was already like such a weird, like, I forget the wording. It was Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron are all committed to the rest of the season. Like, it was just such a lukewarm commitments PR thing that didn't come from them directly. It came from the Lakers PR. And I think that the Pat Bev LeBron rivalry is been pretty much overblown. If you look at their exchanges on social media and in public, that seems pretty warm and cordial. But Westbrook and Bev do not like each other. I mean, Pat Beverley even went as far to say, after Westbrook had said that he like doesn't do anything on the court, and he what was the word he used? He's fooling all you guys. Pat Bev went as far to say on JJ Redick's podcast that like injured his career and made it, and like his image in the NBA changed after that. Like, there's just like serious like divide between both of them, between like Pat Bev causing him to tear. I forget it was an MCL tear or an ACL tear when Westbrook was on the Thunder diving at his knees, and they just had several on-court spats like after that. So that is just going to be an interesting thing to watch. Obviously, all good things come with winning, but Lakers, in recent memory, as of last season, they're not super known for that right now. So that's, man, I don't know what they were thinking with that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of move that they needed to make, because they kind of needed to replace some of what they lost when they lost Alex Caruso, and Beverly does certainly plug elements of the gap that he left, especially on the defensive side. And obviously, he had a great year last year with the Timberwolves, and they'll be hoping that he can come in there and have a similar sort of impact. Also, it's probably thinking a bit of, it's not dead cert that Westbrook is with this team this year. Obviously, they're planning it, like they're going on. Oh, he's definitely going to be here. He's part of the plans and everything. But we all know that the Lakers are always willing to make moves, and if anyone's getting moved off this Lakers team, it's going to be Russell Westbrook. So I guess they're thinking, if they're playing together, they can just make peace. They're teammates now. They got to put the past behind them. And they're also thinking there's a chance that we might not even have Russell Westbrook on the roster when we actually get to training camp and maybe to the key part of the season.
Yeah. I mean, there's two things that I think you're absolutely right. It's like, obviously you're replacing Caruso on his, I mean, I will not sit here and compare them in terms of like how good they are on ball defense. I think Caruso is far superior on ball defender than Pat Bev. Pat Bev is very, very, very good on ball defender, but he's not going to replace that entirely. But I think what he does replace, and you did see this in Minnesota for sure, you've seen this on every team that he's on, is that his intensity and like his spirit. And you see these things with some players that when they step on the court with just that spirit that they have of playing, that forces other players to either you follow them or it's pretty obvious that you're not trying. And that's a problem. That's a problem with the Lakers, that they just didn't have that defensive identity. And if they want to bring that here, they want to actually change. They need guys like that. So it does make sense. I get that. But then the second part of it is, again, back to the Russ and Beverly relationship. You bring him there to force other guys to play defense, to commit to that end of the floor. Both of them offensively are kind of playing the same position. And another part of this is, one, is Pat Bev going to inspire Russell Westbrook to play defense? Is he going to call out Westbrook? Because he's volatile. You don't know what he's going to say, when he's going to say it, if he's going to follow PR or whatever. He might come out of the media and be like, yeah, like our other point guard on the team should be playing defense, something like that. You don't know. And that's just going to cause even more problems if they're on a losing streak. Or two, imagine the media attention that's going to come about if you start looking at the lineups, you start looking at the data, and it's pretty obvious that the Lakers are better with Pat Bev on the floor, with Anthony Davis, with LeBron James than Russell Westbrook. And that's just going to be a tremendously awkward situation to figure out when you already have a guy, Russell Westbrook, who, again, like, I got to give an asterisk every time. I love this player. I think on other teams he's been fantastic, but just realistically should not be in the starting lineup with this team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Lakers they've taken a risk here, but it could work out really well for them, or it could come back to bite them. But it's kind of a risk that they had to take.
Thanks for watching Coast to Coast on YouTube. For full episodes, check out the show wherever you get your podcasts. And for all the best hot takes, subscribe to the Coast to Coast YouTube channel below.